What's going on, LEGO fans? Welcome back. Alex here. Today, we're taking a look at the newest project that I've been working diligently on, sorta, and that is a new rock face for this ledge here that kind of separates the upper section from the lower section. And while this is not LEGO, it's actually Styrofoam. I kind of came across some Styrofoam as I was buying a new fridge, a mini fridge, and the Styrofoam that came out of it, I was like, you know what, this could work pretty well as my rock face. So I had it in my garage for quite some time, and I decided last week to actually research and take a look at the options available, and this is the result. Now this is my rough draft, my first attempt, so I've never done this before with Styrofoam. If you are good at this kind of stuff, go easy in your critiquing of me. But I think for my first try, I think it's gone pretty well. So if I were to back up here, let me back up a little bit. From a distance, it looks pretty good, but as I walk towards it here, you'll begin to notice some lines, some obvious cracks between where one piece of Styrofoam ends and another one begins. I had some problems with a certain section of the Styrofoam, so the contrast looks a little off. But all in all, it's definitely better than the what it looked like before, which is just basically a wall of green felt, and that's been a big eyesore for the city for quite some time. So that's what I've been mainly working on. So here I am at this certain section here at the end, and you'll notice that a lot of the pieces are smaller pieces, and I didn't like how they had to line up against each other. So let me go ahead and just see if I can pop one or two of these out, and you can kind of see what I mean on how this all works. But anyway, I think if I come across another longer piece of Styrofoam, I'll replace these pieces right here. But obviously there is the kind of a mess, obviously, because of the Styrofoam disintegrating underneath as I have it there. But you'll also, I don't know if you can see this or not, but let me move the camera here. You'll notice that there's a lip here. The actual upper section actually now goes over the wall, and when I put these on originally, they were sticking out like so, right? And I thought, you know what would be really cool is if the upper section here, these base plates, actually went on top of them like that. And I think that looks a lot better, right? Of course, that meant actually moving the entire Lego city forward by one stud. Now, moving the city forward by one stud was, I mean, it sounds simple, but it was a huge project and something that I always want to avoid if possible. But I was so... It just looks so much better with it actually on top of the Styrofoam. So what I did is I disconnected everything from the upper level here. So all the upper level here, disconnected it from this lower level here, from the airport, the train tracks, the monorail, everything. And I moved the upper section forward first to get an alignment, right? Then I went to work on the bottom section, which was... it was a pain in the bum, but I got it to work. Everything moved over sort of nicely, and in the end, it's all said and done, and I'm pretty happy with it. Before I started all this, I took my sheets of Styrofoam and I measured them all out to see what I could get from them as far as coverage goes. And so I measured the dimensions, and in this case, what you're seeing is just a smaller piece, obviously. The longer the better, but this is just going to be a piece to fill the gap. So measured it all out, made sure I had the height correct, and put a sanding bit on my drill and just went to town on it. Just kind of leveled it out just so it's nice, smooth transition, so it's not so blocky at the very top. Nice and rounded, and that Styrofoam is not going to give you any trouble if you have that sanding bit. It's going to drill it right down, and then when you get to the point where it's done, kind of compare it to another piece of Styrofoam that it's going to be next to. Is what I would have done. I didn't do it this time, but make sure that it actually is going to look good and level and even next to another piece of Styrofoam, so you don't have that ugly transition. Finish it off. Make sure, obviously, that you're outside, that you don't get a bunch of Styrofoam over your house. That would really be bad. I went to my local retail store and I went to their spray paint aisle to find a basic gray spray paint that I could just use to, just a boring gray. And I came across this particular can. It's actually called Stone Textured Finish. Now, I'm not familiar with spray paint or these types of things, but the caps of everything was both the color and texture of the paint, and it was perfect. Look at all these different colors in it. And as soon as Josh and I saw this, we thought, yeah, that's what we got to get. And of course, it cost quite a bit. It was like $8 a can, but looking at the end result, I think it was well worth it. I set the paint up in the garage, put some 2x4s down on some plywood, and did my first coat here. And in retrospect, I would have done this outside. It's pretty stinky stuff, but if weather permitting, definitely do it outdoors. But after the first coat, this is what they were looking like. So they do need a couple of coats, so make sure you have a lot of the spray paint to cover everything. Now, in one of my earlier videos, I said I was going to put the bat cave underneath here and have the exit/entrance right in here. But I needed a place for these beach houses, and I thought they worked so good right here at the beach, obviously, right? So what that meant is finding another location for it. So what I'm thinking here is underneath the bridge here, I used to have that garage repair shop right here. And I think what might work best is if I actually have the exit right here. It's kind of underneath the bridge. It's discreet. It's kind of away. It's quiet and very secret. So I think if I could make some sort of, hidden rock entrance and exit, it should work out pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a look at the other side of this wall at the potential bat cave. Now this 2x4 here is going to have to move because that is right where the door is going to be, so it's got a screw in it. Otherwise I'd be able to move it, but I'm going to have to undo that and move it to another location. I'm still debating on whether I actually put another wall right here similar to the styrofoam walls that you've just seen. Same style, but just line it up with the road all the way to the top of this board here. So that means that you wouldn't be able to see the bat cave unless you actually went underneath the table and poked your head up to an access hole that I'm going to be putting here kind of in the middle-ish area there, just so I can get in there. And because right now I don't fit in there. Josh does, but I do not. So I'm going to have to drill and cut out another place for me to actually get in there. So but anyway, yeah, still a lot of space down there, guys, to add stuff to. Let me stand up. Ugh. And I think that's going to take care of it for now. So thanks so much for checking it out. Let me know what you guys think. Again, this is my first attempt, so be gentle with your criticisms and constructive feedback. But it's all good stuff. So hopefully we'll have some more good stuff here in the near future. And thanks again, as always, for checking it out. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.